Put my glasses on. Oh, I can't see. This is with the glasses on. This is for close work.
I'll touch you.
I can see that. Okay. Welcome to What's New. Tonight, we are having, just Iris and I, and we are having the ladies is going to tell us about this special weekend. And so I'll let Iris take over and introduce her.
Tonight, we're going to hear all about the King's Ball. That's a Saturday night. We were supposed to be on last week, but the weather made us cancel because it was awful out. Yeah.
It was
So
bad.
we have Mary Elise and we have Ellie. And they are the ones that all the work, or well, not all the work, a lot of the work for the King's Ball. So they're going to tell you all about it. So.
Certainly. Well, King's Ball is a tradition that's been going on in St. Genevieve for over 250 years. It was actually going to be this Saturday. I keep thinking it was last week, but it's this Saturday, the 4th of February. The doors open at 6 o'clock and the dancing starts at 7. So people can bring their food if they wish. You can bring your dinner if you'd like. You bring it over. So we'll have enough food that we're going to have dinner. So,
There's a
but
cash
you can,
bar as
yeah,
well.
there's a cash bar, and you can bring snacks, whatever you want to eat, and just fill up a basket and come on. So it'll be great.
And the tables, do
And
you
the
decorate
tables,
them?
yeah,
or
we've
they
decorated, we're gonna decorate tomorrow night, so we don't have elaborate decorations, but it'll be cheerful and festive looking, so.
The doors open at 6, the music starts at 7, and this year it's very special. The group that formerly had played the music is not available anymore.
Oh,
So
really?
now we have Dennis Stromat and Esprit Creole playing with Deborah Hyland being the caller.
Oh, my.
So
Yes,
That's
really
gonna be
looking
exciting.
really looking forward to that, and so it should be an extra special night. So,
But Dennis should draw a big crowd.
yes, we think so. So, we ask people to dress in period costume if they can in the form of the French of the mid 17 to late 1700s. Or you don't have to wear any costumes, but we would recommend it. We'd like to see people dress. So, but it's fun. We're going to have we're going to have schottisches, square dance, round dances, all the traditional dances. And if you if you like you said, I don't dance. We're going
Because I'm afraid I'll fall down.
But the caller will go through the dances with everybody, so you know what you're going to be doing, and then the music will start, and you start in. But even if you've never done it before, by the end of the evening, you will be a confirmed dancer. So
Well, that's
no
good.
doubt, right?
indeed.
So, I'm trying to think. There's parking. There's plenty of parking there, and you can buy your tickets at the door. You can buy them ahead of time. I think they're on the flyers. There's a.
Is it St. Genevieve? No.
I don't have the.
Anyway.
Keep talking and
You
I'll
just
find
might
it.
as well
I have
pay
a
at the
picture
door.
of it.
It's no
It's-
advantage
yeah,
to
it's-
do it online.
Right, not anymore. I mean, it's just as easy to buy the tickets at the door. So, the tickets are $15 for adults and $8 for children and students, and 5 and under are free. And it is a family affair. We encourage everybody to bring their kids. So they have as much fun as the adults.
I bet they do.
They really
I bet
do.
they
So we encourage them to come along and have a good time too.
Okay. So the website that you visit to buy the tickets is www.historicstgen.org. wanna,
And then at the first intermission, the gentlemen are served cake to determine who's going to be the king. Hidden in one of the cakes is a small little baby Jesus and also a bean. So whoever gets the baby Jesus is going to be the king for the year. He selects his queen, and whoever gets the bean is the attendant.
And we also have a special cake for the teenagers. For
Oh, so
those, for we have a cake for the junior high and the high school, and they can take, and they'll get a bean, and they will be the junior attendant to the king and queen.
oh, how nice.
So,
Great.
yeah, so we get everybody involved, so,
And I know the little kiddies just get to run around and dance.
oh, sure. It'll be fun. But it's amazing, they do the round dances right along with everybody
I
else,
bet
and they do a pretty good job.
Indeed.
But it's funny, you'll be dancing with someone and the next person is this, is this short, so you go
Up and down.
up and down. So,
Now, the king and the attendants are a surprise, but we know in advance, because I can't pronounce it, you have to
the
pronounce it.
Chevalier and the La Dame. And they are the people, the committee chooses someone who has been very active in St. Genevieve, has done a lot to help promote it, do it. And this year we have
Paul Hassler.
and his wife Mary.
Oh, how nice.
So we're delighted. So we have them come up and we give them a little gift to go along with their, as their prize. And we have a scroll all made out. It looks very official.
Oh, how
And
neat.
so it looks great. So we're so pleased to have Paul and Mary.
He's a very nice person.
Yes. So they will be honored at the ball.
Well, how wonderful.
Good.
Yeah, you said that everybody brings their own food,
Yes.
but how about the drink?
They can bring their own drinks.
Okay,
but
if they don't have them, is it furnished?
yes, there's a cash bar. And they have some snacks like potato chips, pretzels, and things like that that you can buy there too.
Now, they don't bring alcoholic drinks, do they, or do they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
can.
can bring
Bottles of wine.
bottles of wine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, but we kind of like to tell them to buy a little bit at VFW Hall too,
Right,
because that's
get
how
the
they
food.
make their
Right.
money too. So,
That's so great.
yes, it is. It's a fun time, and we ask everybody to come and attend. I've had people come up to me and say, I didn't know I could attend, and they said, yeah, they said, well, I didn't think I could come. I said, well, whatever gave
Why
you that
not?
idea? and I told them it's for everybody, for all age groups. So, as I say, it's a family affair, and we encourage people to bring their
And
kids
a
to
lot
it.
of out-of-town people come too,
Yes,
don't
they
Quite a
do.
few, and quite a few come every year.
Yeah.
We were snowed out last year. COVID cut it back, so we're really looking forward to
Right,
it this year.
we haven't had it for this is the third year, so the last king and queen have been king and queen for 2 years, so. So that's.
So they got a big honor.
Yeah, they have, so we get a new king and queen this year, so.
So how many years have you been involved in it?
Me,
Yes,
personally, 27, 28, something like that, I'm not sure, I
And
can't
it
remember.
had gone out for a while, and then
Right.
a little, over 50 years ago, it was brought back. And at first, they had it at KC Hall, but we learned quite quickly it wasn't big enough. We had to go bigger.
Oh, my
And-
goodness, yeah.
Well, it was going, during World War II, it stopped for a while because of the war. And then it was brought, after the war, it was brought back again. There was just that little lull. But it's been going on for a long, long time.
Isn't that one?
And it's always been a family thing.
No, not really. It's not always been a family thing, but we we decided that long ago that pretty soon that a lot of the people were just getting older, an older crowd, and there was no, there was no youth coming up. So we tried to get the teenagers and the young kids to be involved. They think it's pretty nifty now. Where you had somebody that said about the dancing.
Yeah, someone was overheard kids saying, "Don't they dance like this anymore? It's so much fun."
Oh, isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Now they just get out there and spill their
and
beer
now
all
they
over.
just wiggle. Yeah, get out.
And spill their beer all over
Yeah.
there.
Do you have really a bigger crowd by having a family?
Yes, I think so.
The hall holds 200, and we have 200, at least
Every
at the
year.
beginning of the evening.
Isn't that great?
Everybody always asks us, why don't you find a bigger place? Because we want to dance, more people get out on the dance floor. And we have the biggest place in town. There's nothing other bigger, and if we went out of town, then it's not
Not the same
not a
thing,
St.
right.
Genevieve event. So we've got the biggest place. It's the only place that's that big.
Yeah.
So
Now, the one that they have in Prairie du Rocher, is that the same thing that you guys
it's the
do?
same kind. It all derived from Twelfth Night Ball. It was a religious event, kind of, sort of. It was honoring the Epiphany, or the 12
Oh,
days
okay.
after Christmas. And Prairie du Rocher has theirs on 12th night.
Right.
So we like to go to theirs, and they like to come to our ball. So we moved ours to the first Saturday in February so that everybody can
Go to each of them.
other's
Yeah.
ball.
So while it's done at Prairie du Rocher on the 12th night,
Yes.
it's also done in St. Louis at the, what is
City
it?
Hall.
No, at the old courthouse.
Yeah, oh,
At
okay.
the old courthouse, but they do it in the middle of the afternoon.
Oh, really?
So
I
you
didn't
can hit
know
it
that.
3 times.
Yes,
Oh,
you
my
can hit it
gosh.
every time.
My land.
The courthouse up there has a big enough room?
Right.
Oh,
It's in the rotunda.
Oh, okay.
But Mardi Gras in New Orleans is just before Lent. It's a different kind
Right,
of thing.
yeah.
But this was all this all went back to 12th. So this was actually the 12th.
Isn't that great?
So,
It's always a big,
So-
big celebration.
yeah, it is.
And it's wonderful that it's family-wise now.
Yeah. Well, in the early days in the 1700s, there were not many settlements,
No.
in the Illinois country at that time. There was here, St. Louis hadn't even been founded yet. There was Vincennes, Indiana, and Cahokia,
And
and
weren't
Prairie
they
du
down-
Rocher, and
were
that.
they down in Perryville at that time?
No,
Or were they
no.
were 1800s
No, yeah.
when they came down there?
So whenever
And
they
St. Charles?
no,
they
not,
weren't
not
either?
they came about 15 years later, I think, something
Oh,
like that.
really?
So
I know we're the oldest.
In Missouri.
And we have-
Missouri.
Yeah, and we have the oldest church.
The
No,
oldest
West-
physical building is the Lutheran. But the
Catholic
Catholic
Church
Church
moved there.
originally was a vertical log building down
Yeah.
near the river.
Right,
And when
they moved it
they
up.
moved up, and
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Old Valley, the stone building is, it was
Right.
located there.
No,
And then
Oh.
they built the
Present
stone
church.
church next to the vertical log church and outgrew that as well. And then they built the brick church, larger than the stone church at the same
yeah,
location.
and the stone church was inside, and
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
tore it down
Right.
after they got the other one. torn
Right.
down.
Yeah, so this church is the third church on that
Right,
side.
on that side.
It's a lot of history.
Yes, a
Lot
lot
of
of
it is, yeah.
history. So it's amazing. So as I was saying, that there were so few settlements in the Illinois country at that time. So whenever they had a chance to have a party, they really had a party.
And the
I mean,
French liked to
and-
party.
And they came, everybody in town, whether they were slaves, Indians, and everybody came to the party.
Oh,
Everybody
isn't
was
that
invited.
nice? So were these people that came from out of town, they stayed at people's house then?
Well,
was
not
there
too
a
many
hotel?
kids. No, not, well, early on, not very much. The Green Tree was about the earliest.
I don't know too much about the history,
Mm-hmm.
which would be nice for Bob Mueller. We have asked him, and he says yes,
Yes.
but he hasn't yet. Probably
But
this summer. He will do it.
traditionally, when people went to a town to attend something, they stayed with acquaintances.
They stay with what?
Acquaintances.
Somebody
Oh,
People
somebody
they
they
knew.
knew.
People didn't travel that much, because I think, they were so far apart. So if you went to somebody else's ball, you had to go probably sometimes a far piece
Right.
to get there.
When Mom was young, she said when they used to go visit her older sister, who lived in Fredericktown,
Mm-hmm.
they would load up in the morning and get there in the evening.
Right, I can.
Took all day
Yeah.
to go in the horse and buggy
Yeah.
to there.
Yeah,
And then they would stay
Yeah.
all night and then come back home the next day.
yeah.
So the visiting time was very short,
Mhm.
and the travel time was very, very long.
Yes.
And I guess when you take 10 kids,
Yeah.
it's probably an exciting place to go.
Right. I would
Well,
think.
9 because they're married already.
Mhm. It was,
It's amazing how the country has evolved.
oh, yes.
And the older people like you have seen so much change
Yes,
in your lifetime.
yes, yes.
And that's what
lot.
Mom went all the way from the horse and buggy, riding horses, all the way up to space.
That's quite a jump,
And
isn't
she
it?
also lived long enough for technology. It wasn't like it is now, but it was started, yeah.
So, Saturday night, we're going back in time to have this fabulous dance with old-fashioned music and Dennis Stromat fiddling away.
Oh, he is so good.
Yes.
Is there quite a few from town?
What?
Is there quite a few people who come from town?
Yes. We get a lot of people from across the river, from Prairie du Rocher that come. We get people from Farmington. We get people from, every once in a while, we get, one year we got people from Texas. We had people from Ohio or Iowa. I mean, they read about it in the paper and they came on a whim, They saw it in the paper
go
and
check
and
this
said,
out.
let's go check this out. And so, we can get them from anywhere. It's amazing. So,
Good.
And now, do they do anything like this in Canada or?
I'm
Yes.
sure in Canada, but in this country, there aren't very many people that have a 12th night ball. The Prairie du Rocher in St. Louis does. Cahokia does.
But it is a tradition that came down.
That came
Canada.
down, yes. Most of the people who lived here during that time were descendants from the settlers in Montreal, Quebec.
And where?
Quebec.
Quebec.
The ballets were
Ballet.
from Quebec.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were from France to New France, which was Canada, and then down the rivers to here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how people got here from that way through,
When
through
you
Virginia.
think that it took months to get here,
Yeah.
it's
And
I
how
just-
horrible that must have been
It
on
must
that
have been.
ship. for that
well,
long.
even in the early 1800s, to go to even when the steamboat was first in here, to go to St. Louis took 2 days, even by steamboat,
Oh,
just
my
because you're
goodness.
going upriver.
It came
Had
down
to fight the
faster.
current.
But you had to go upriver, and it took a long time. I mean, and now we'd go to St. Louis, it takes us an hour and 15 minutes.
Depending
it's-
where you go, yeah.
Right, so, quite a change.
Big change.
So,
So that is neat. It
trying
starts
to
at
see
6
what
o'clock.
time.
Starts at 6.
Doors open at
6,
the dance. And it runs until 11.
So do you guys want to talk a little bit It's only been 20 minutes. So if you want to talk a little bit about the cemetery and the work you do there, and then when we go back, then you can reiterate all the
Right.
Kings Ball stuff. So
So,
Well, the cemetery, we have been working very hard at restoring quite a few of the monuments. The company that we had employed for a couple of years, the main guy died this past spring, and so we're looking for a different entity to continue the work on restoring the headstones. And we're also working on a new map and that's more accurate than the old ones we used to have, and more accurately locate the burials of the various people who were there. There are less than 200 tombstones still there. There at one time were like 5,000 people buried there. But most had wooden crosses, which have, of course, rotted
even
away.
the iron ones did too. you know,
There,
they
yeah, there are
disintegrated.
2 iron ones left. Quite a bit of erosion over time on that soft sandstone, so it's often difficult to decipher who's buried
buried
there.
there, yeah.
Well, we actually know who's buried there, we just don't know where.
Where? So
Right.
when they restore them, do they put a finish on the stones where they don't deteriorate anymore,
I
or
don't
they
believe
just
that can be
clean them?
done, but they do clean them. And you have to be very careful with what clean them. You cannot use bleach because that is stone.
Does
they
that
have-
affect granite too? The granite?
Well,
Yeah,
there's only a couple of granite stones in the
Oh, well.
cemetery. Most are. And if you use bleach, forever eating away at the stones. There are special.
And
So do they redo like the lettering to make it deeper, or do they
No,
just leave
they're
it like it is?
cleaning it.
Just clean them?
the cemetery was stepchild city for a long, long time. We have the oldest cemetery in Missouri,
Right.
and they they we it was in such bad repair that when the foundation finally took over, we began to plant shrubs, trees, and it really, today it looks unbelievable. Most people wouldn't recognize it from, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
It really was in bad condition. So early on, the city didn't want it, the church didn't want it, so poor thing, nobody wanted it. They didn't know what to do with it, and that's why it just fell into disrepair. And so we started making money to help clean it up and get it back to somewhat of its original.
You're talking about Wooden Town.
That's
One,
so
yes, the old
beautiful.
cemetery.
Memorial Cemetery.
That is so wonderful that the foundation took that over.
Right, and then,
Yeah.
well, the Deja Vu Spirit Reunion was one of the things that we put together to make money to help salvage the stones and the whole cemetery, clean it up and so forth. And we just had our 20th anniversary of the Spirit Reunion last year, so this year it'll be the 21st.
That don't seem like it's been that long. Time passes so fast.
I know.
The thing I liked in the 90s in the cemetery was all the lilies, the day lilies that bloomed. That whole strip covered
Yes.
with was
Oh.
so pretty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the cemetery really does come back to life. The night the Spirit Reunion.
It,
There are at least 2 up to 3 dozen people in costume representing people who are buried, telling their story. So it's a fascinating evening. You learn so much.
and this last year, we had over 200 people.
That's
That was, so, and they were from everywhere. We had people from out of state, from Iowa, a lot of people from Springfield, Illinois, and Springfield, Missouri. So, you know, it was,
And quite a few who were back the second or third time.
yes,
Because
it
they want to
grows.
hear more. There's new people,
new
you know,
spirits.
New spirits,
New
yeah.
spirits. So, it's, yes, and they didn't have time to hear all the spirits that were there, so that's why they keep coming back, so they want to hear everybody, so.
Yeah,
it
that's
has-
another wonderful thing that
Yes,
you guys are involved in, both of
Yeah.
you, yeah. And Mickey also.
yes.
And that is when, because
If-
I've got
and
somebody in
now
Illinois
this
that's come.
coming year, this year, it'll be October the 28th.
October
think-
28th.
I think yes, I think it's the last Saturday in October. There are only 4 weekends in October.
the fourth Saturday in October.
Fourth Saturday in October,
Mhm.
okay. Because I've had some from Illinois that wanted to come over.
Oh, good, good. Bring you 100 of your very best friends and come.
And I think a lot that's helped advertise that is our, the Missouri magazine,
The Missouri Live.
Live, yeah.
Mhm. In fact,
Uh,
they had contacted me, and they're running an article about the King's Ball.
Oh, great.
Yes,
So that'll get it out even further.
yes.
Yes.
Great.
So do you do the PBS stations, or are there any left yet? The PBS
Oh,
stations?
yes, there are PBS stations. Quite a few places have online calendars to list events in the area,
Oh,
about 30 different ones.
oh, that's
So
great.
this was announced on those 30 online places, including PBS in St. Louis.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Great.
And technology has advanced things
It
so
certainly
much.
has.
Yes, amazingly.
Yeah. Or you can reach out to people, see them when you're talking to them on FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Just totally amazing.
Wonderful.
So the foundation's main activities, King's Ball, Spirit Reunion, and they also run the Keyboard Ballet House.
Right.
Which is available to her. Those are their main activities. So whenever they charge admission to any one of those things, that's where the money is going to help support these activities.
Great.
It takes a lot of money to upkeep the cemetery.
Oh, I
mean,
bet.
Oh, it
yes.
does.
You
It's
take
just-
donations also, right?
Oh,
Yes.
anytime.
Through the foundation?
Yes.
Mhm.
And they specify that it's for the cemetery? or-
Well, you can,
can.
yes.
So I saw, were you doing work on that foundation building? I saw some boards or something outside one day. Were
Um,
they?
They put a new roof on last spring.
Oh,
That was an expensive endeavor.
oh, I bet, yeah.
And there are quite a few cracked windows that's one of the projects they're thinking about tackling in the near
in the
future in replacing cracked window panes. When you have a house that was built in 1806, it takes some upkeep, quite a bit of
Right.
upkeep.
And that's such a lovely building.
Yeah.
I love that. I would love to live in there.
Oh, yes.
I love the big room.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful place.
Well, yes, these old homes take constant care. I
Oh,
mean,
definitely. The guy that moved into the old Klein, where Kleins were raised up, oh, what's the name of that? The widow?
Oh, the Huberto House, yes.
The Stoneman, the guy that bought that, I told him one day, sir, are you the owner of this house? And he said, yeah. And I said, over there on the side where these rocks are kind of far apart, there's birds flying in and out of there. And he said, oh, there is so much hair on this place.
Which house is that?
Where Dick Klein used to live on the there.
Oh.
Dick Klein. Where Stoopy's bought it.
Oh.
Dr.
Humidor.
Stoopy. The what?
Huberto House.
Oh, I said it wrong.
That's just its
I
traditional
said
name.
Huberto. Wait, how did I say it? I don't even know how I said it. Starts with an H.
It's good now.
And that was rented out too as B&B
B&B
for
a
so
while.
long.
Mhm.
That probably puts a lot of wear and tear on a place
Oh,
too.
sure.
But I got tickled at him when he said, oh, there's a lot that needs to be done.
I'm sure.
And I was thinking those birds, how if they flew inside the rocks where there was a bedroom or something, how horrible that would be.
Well, there for a while when I was in the courthouse, I held my breath and I went upstairs. It's the only place where you can go upstairs and actually touch the Norman trusses.
Right.
But I would hold my breath because oftentimes a squirrel would run across the
Oh,
room.
really?
But that has been taken care of with the new roof.
That's how that little house that the Dirty Fed owns down there by the railroad trestle, the White House.
The,
Dirty Fed grounds, you know.
Moses Austin.
Moses
Moses
Austin.
Austin, yeah.
That place, they can't keep the squirrels out of it. One day, we used to go in there when we had the plein air for the kids,
Mhm.
and I cleaned the bathroom so the kids could use it. Well, anyway, one day I went in there, and they had a rounded desk, a desk in there sitting, and here's little things of pecan.
Oh, yeah.
Like they had a meeting.
In the old cemetery, you probably can't find a horizontal tomb without,
Without pecans on it, really?
they're covered in pecans.
I wonder if they have meetings. That's what it looks like.
Or even in the Amarillo House, same thing, when we go up, raccoons, squirrels, everything. You never knew what you were going to find when you went upstairs.
It's just part of the nature
Yeah.
of an historic area.
Yeah, right.
It really is.
Well, I have lots of squirrels. Because I got the 2 pecan trees,
Oh, yeah.
and they love them.
Oh, yeah.
Let them eat them, because I don't want to pick them up.
Oh, no, I picked up too many this year.
I let the squirrels have mine out.
Well, maybe I haven't all. They got done early. There were so many pecans, they had them all packed up already. They were out there sitting on the porch eating them. I was just sitting out there.
They're cute, but they're so destructive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can go back to your King's Ball. Call it a night after you give the details of it.
Well, we certainly invite everybody to come and have a fabulous night enjoying Dennis Stromat on his fiddle with his Esprit Creole playing with him, and also Deborah Hyland calling those dances step by step. Everybody's going to have a fabulous time. If you can't make it this year, it's always the first Saturday in February at the VFW Hall in St. Joe.
Pack a basket of food of any kind, of whatever you want, snacks or a whole dinner, and bring it along and come and enjoy.
And bring the wine if
And
you
bring
want.
your wine, or we have a cash bar. So,
And it starts at
6, it opens at 6, dancing starts at 7.
And
it
they
closes
are
at
15.
11.
Adults are 15, kids and students are 8, 5 and under are free.
You can tell she was secretary. I never take notes.
We thank you for letting us
Well,
tell
we
you
thank
about
you
our
for
wonderful-
coming.
our
Yeah.
wonderful event. So we really do appreciate it.
Okay, so now keep posting on Facebook that it's this weekend.
Yes.
Yes, and I'll do the same.
And be sure to put that Dennis Stroman.
Dennis, right.
Going to be.
So you put it, so I know.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you both for coming. We love when you guys come. It's always so nice, and I'm so sorry Mickey can't be,
Yeah,
or
I
couldn't
am
be
too.
here. Yeah, because she's always a fun person too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.
We look forward every year to you guys coming for the spirit reunion and
great.
for this, because I just think the information that the history
Mhm.
for both
Oh,
events is so
abs-
great. And
absolutely.
people that haven't heard it before, they can hear it for the first time.
Right.
So we'll have to get Bob Mueller on here to give the history of the town. Yeah,
Right.
because he's such a good historian.
Oh, he is.
Very
Absolutely.
good. He knows so much. My mind could not hold all that. I don't think. Yeah. So, okay. Well, thank you so much again for
More than welcome.
joining us, and
Come back with more.
yeah, anytime you want to come back, if there's other events that
Okay.
the foundation does, or
Thank you.
anything you want to come and just talk to us,
Will do.
we'll be glad to have you. Just give me a call,
All
and
right.
we'll put you on the What's New show.
Yeah, very good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
let's wave goodbye to everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.